screw up my Bible. The Bible is the best.
We're going to protect Christianity, and I can say that. I don't have to be politically correct.
The evangelicals are with me because they know one thing about me. I'm not a liar. I win with the evangelicals by a lot. They know I'm legit.
I wrote the art of the deal. I always say a deep, deep second to the Bible. The Bible is the best, the Bible.
Well, you just heard it from Donald Trump. Christians love him. And today, Trump held a meeting with hundreds of evangelical leaders. The goal, to address concerns about his candidacy. So, did it work? A special on-the-record evangelical panel of people in today's meeting is here. Reverend Franklin Graham, Ralph Reed, and Jerry Falwell Jr. all go on the record. And I should note, as of today, Ralph and Jerry are both on Trump's advisory board. So welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to all of you. Reverend, first to you. What happened today?
Well, Greta, we were asked, I was asked to come to a meeting and to hear Donald Trump. And I'm glad I did. As you know, I'm not supporting or endorsing anyone this year. I'm going to all 50 state capitals to hold prayer rallies on Capitol steps. And that's what I'm doing. And I promise people that I won't get involved and endorse anyone. But I was invited to hear him, and I'm glad I did because I think he answered everyone's questions. There are people that had, I think, good concerns. When I say good, concerns, and they were honest concerns. And I think Donald Trump addressed most of those today.
Jerry, you were there as well. In fact, I think you're an early endorser of Donald Trump, if I'm correct. What did you think today?
I was very impressed. He was very presidential, and he's really showing a deeper understanding than I've ever seen before of issues that are important to conservatives and to Christians. He talked a lot about his Supreme Court nominees. He talked about how they're all going to be pro-life. He talked about support for the nation of Israel, and he was strong on that issue. That's something that was very important to the group in that room. He also talked about so many other issues that are so important to, he talked about religious freedom. That was the #1 concern, religious liberty, because the government now is impinging on the religious freedoms of people of faith. And those were the key issues. He went a lot longer than he promised the group he would go. I was very impressed, and I was honored to introduce him, and I tried to point out to the crowd that we have such a simple choice this election. We can vote for somebody who's promised to support and defend the values that are important to conservatives and Christians and to appoint the right nominees to the Supreme Court, or we can vote for a candidate who has promised she will not do either of the above. She will do just the opposite. So it was, go ahead.
Now, go to you, Ralph. Ralph, did he say anything, rather? Did he say anything that would probably, let's say, annoy some evangelicals?
I don't think so, Greta. You know, as he himself said in the clip that you showed leading into this segment, you know, he's done extremely well among conservative evangelical voters in these just concluded primaries. He won, if you look at all the exit polls and the aggregate thereof in the 27 states for which we have them, he won 39% of the evangelical vote to Ted Cruz's 33 and Marco Rubio's 15. And this was in a field of 17 people that included 2 sons of preachers, Ted Cruz and Scott Walker, a former preacher and successful governor, Mike Huckabee. This was a very strong and deep field, and I think he's connected with them, and I think there were 2 things that really jumped out to me today. I have a relationship with Donald Trump. We've been friends for 7 years. I like him. I consider him a friend. I was neutral in the primaries, but there were 2 things that I think really made a difference to these leaders today who still needed to hear some things and have some concerns addressed. The first was when he talked about ending the IRS's and the Internal Revenue Code's death penalty and strict prohibition on churches being involved in civic activities. Right now, if a church or Liberty University or a major ministry like Franklin's or somebody else's spends 1 dime making a statement in the civic arena. They can have their entire tax-exempt status revoked. Many major ministries have been subject to harassment by the IRS, to invasive audits, to ultimately harassment. And he said that he would repeal that prohibition and replace it with a standard that protected freedom of speech. I'd say that's the first thing. The second thing was he reiterated his commitment to appoint conservative, strict constructionist jurists to the U.S. Supreme Court. Greta, this is the first time in modern American history that we've gone into a presidential election with a vacancy on the Supreme Court, on a court that is divided and split right down the middle, 4 liberals and 4 conservatives. It isn't just the presidency on the line, it's the entire federal judiciary, and he's released a list of 11 names who are outstanding people who will decide everything that we care about, from life to religious freedom to Obamacare down the line. I think that's very important to conservative voters of faith.
All right, Reverend Franklin, you've gone, I've seen on your Facebook page all the pictures, because you've gone to a number of state capitals. You're going to hit all of them eventually before November. Do you get the sense, they're all coming out to pray, but do you get the sense that they are enthusiastic about the election, that they'll come out to vote? Because that's something different.
They're going to come out to vote, Greta. This is, they come out in the middle of the day. This is noon, and it's a work week, not a weekend where they can take off. This is a work day, and people come by the thousands, and they get there early, Greta. And I'm amazed. They're not coming there to hear me. They're not coming for entertainment. They're coming because they sense our nation is in trouble, and that the only hope is God. And I tell them that I have no faith in the Republican Party. I have no faith in the Democratic Party. My only hope for this country is God. And they get that, and they understand, and we pray, and we spend the first 10, 15 minutes, Greta, in prayer. That's what we do. And then I challenge people to get involved. I challenge them to vote, but I also challenge people to run. When I say run for office, I'm talking about at the local level. We need to get the mayors. We need to get the county commissioners. We need to get the city council. We need to get school boards. I want Christians to run for school boards. That is so important. If we could get the school boards, born-again evangelical Christians on those school boards, it can make a huge difference in this country for the next 20 years, Greta.
Well, I've certainly been watching the Facebook page that you have, and it certainly has been busy about that. Gentlemen, it's always nice to see you. We never have enough time, but I hope you all come back as we watch this election. Thank you.
Thanks, Greta.
Thank you, Greta.
Appreciate it.